What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match and Barcelona lose the first El Clásico of the season by 2-1. Honestly, the game that I feel like Barcelona have played better than I expected, but the result that I expected was still there. The fact that the Real Madrid team that were this much better than Barcelona could barely beat us according to the scoreline says enough. And look how they celebrated at the end of the game, which shows how much they wanted more than Barcelona. But I think overall course of the game, it's still the same underlying issues, and it is the defense is absolutely woeful. The starting lineup for this match is on the screen for you right now. It was Wojciech Szczesny in goal, a back four of Jules Kounde, Pau Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, and Alejandro Balde, a midfield three of Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, and Fermin Lopez, front three of Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, and Marcus Rashford. So Flick did take the risk with Ferran up top, and the rest of the team really picked itself, which again is a very, very surprising. Again, these players that are underperforming week in, week out are still starting week in, week out, and that is a sign that things are just not changing. So overall, the team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it a 5 out of 10. Again, I think there were minor improvements from Barcelona in this game. Firstly, mainly being our pressing on the front foot. Again, the main issue with our pressing is that the front line are not pressing. We know that Marcus Rashford is lazy from his time at United. Lamine thinks he's the best player in the world, so he's not going to press. Ferran does press, but the pressing from the front three is non-existent, and it was the main point of our pressing and how elite it was last season, because Lewandowski and Rafa would press the life out of every single build-up from our opponents. I think the first half, again, we just looked vulnerable in behind the high line with the rapid pace. You knew they were going to get at us. It's, you know, and everyone could see it coming, but apparently Flick wants to die by that sword, which, again, I do not like. I think we looked okay in the first half, and going forward, we didn't have too many chances. We did, of course, create. Of course, all the goals came from the first half. The main goal was well worked from an Arda Güler mistake. Ferran Torres had that chance as well. Jules Kounde missing an opportunity, so it was there for us. But then again, Madrid, you looking from their perspective, they scored 3 goals that were ruled out for offside. So they definitely, I think, deserve to win this game. I think their scoreline also represents a fair result as well. Don't think we deserve to be pumped 5-1. Of those, of course, goals did count. But again, I'm seeing some improvements. I think the only reason why this improved was because it was a big game. You know, it's El Clásico. But again, there needs to be a change. Everyone comes at me in my comment sections and my build-up videos for El Clásico. Barca boy, you're negative, this and that. Look at the fucking scoreline. Wake up your eyes, guys. Wake up. I've seen this script so many times. What happened at the beginning of Xavi's second season? 2-1. We've lost the Clásico yet again, 2-1, the first one of the season. The same story is being written. That's why I don't feel like, of course, I'm gutted, but I had a feeling in this game saying that if we get anything, if we get a result from this game, I'm going to be over the moon, a draw or a win, based on how we've been playing. And that Madrid team is not that good. Yes, they have Mbappe, who's probably the best player in the world right now on form in this season so far, but the rest of their team is so, like, not mediocre, but they're just, you know, it's so dead. Xavi Alonso parked the bus from the 75th minute. As soon as he took off Vinny, he parked the bus to get the result, and they had more chances to get in behind. And from that, we only had, what, the Kounde chance? And that's it. But again, I promise you this, if we revamp the team, you know, make players starters who aren't starters, bench players who have been poor, things can change. But we played the same back five now. Girona, Olympiacos, Clásico. And they conceded 4 goals in total and have not looked good. That back five of Szczesny, Kounde, Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, and Balde does not work. You have to change it. You have to change it. Kounde again, poor. If you just put Eric at right back and then put in Arujo, we look more comfortable. It is blatant and obvious. Like I've said for the past few weeks, the system or the player has to change, or else we're going to see the exact same thing that happened in Xavi's second season. After a great season, you get burned out, and I guarantee you all these players are going to be absolutely fantastic at the World Cup. The script is there, it's written, and you have to stop it. And look at the first El Clásico under Xavi in that second season as well. We lost it 2-1 at the Montjuic, and we've lost this one 2-1 at the Bernabeu. The script is there. You have to stop the narrative. I'm this close to flying to Barcelona myself, finding Flick in the streets, and telling him myself. It is blatantly obvious. Either the players or the system has to change. Because with the current core players we have right now that are playing week in, week out, you can't play the system. Yes, you can wait for Juan Garcia to come back and Rafa to get back and all these things going to be all swell well. I don't think so. We were struggling with them as well. The reason why Juan Garcia has been one of the best goalkeepers this season is that we conceded so many chances and he's come up big and clutch for us. Things have to change. Again, I saw a lot of people saying that Barcelona got cooked, outclassed. I personally don't feel that. I, of course, watched the game, the whole entire 10 minutes or so. It's on video as well. I did not feel that we got cooked. I thought the only reason we looked super vulnerable was those balls in behind, the through balls, Vinny pace, Mbappe pace, great finishers as well. That is where I felt vulnerable. You look at the goals we conceded as well. First, the Mbappe one, high line, he stepped up, became offside. Easy money. The Bellingham goal as well is so shit. Vinicius down the byline, crossing over the top that Kounde should have stopped. Then I think Militao beat bullet to a header across goal. De Jong not marking the run of Bellingham. He was just la land following where the cross was going in. If you just mark it, like the goals they scored weren't even that good. The Mbappe first goal that was ruled off offside, cracking world-class goal. But the two goals they conceded were nothing. Just simple 2-3 passes and they're in. The defense is an issue and it needs to be resolved. I think if you solve the defense, I think everything will click. I think the midfield will feel much more composed because the midfield I feel like the midfield feels scared to go up and create changes, but they gotta come back and transition and defend most of the time because the defense is so shit. You sure up, lock in that defense, things can change. I'm telling you, Eric Garcia right back, Arujo, Christensen, and Balde will change absolute wonders. Or you want to go Eric, Kubarsi, Christensen, Balde will change wonders. Things need to change in that back line. But overall tonight, key performance rating gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Let's now get into the players' individual player ratings, because of course with the goalkeeper and probably Barcelona's best player on the pitch today in Wojciech Szczesny, who had been absolutely woeful since coming in for Juan Garcia. But tonight at the Bernabeu, he dropped in a fantastic performance, 8 out of 10 for me. Let's put the penalty save aside. He made 3 or 4 really good saves in the first half, 2 very good saves in the second half. He kept Barcelona in this game. The first 10 minutes was ropey for him in terms of his ability on the ball, giving the ball away, I think, on 2 occasions, one going out and a misplaced pass to Balde. Apart from that, he was sensational. And again, the penalty save. When he saved that penalty, I felt Barcelona had like okay, we can do this for like 10 minutes, but of course we did nothing. But we have not saved a penalty apart from a penalty shootout for like 9 or 10 years. So that was, I put the score 3-1. And he saved the penalty from Mbappe as well. So crazy good performance. Definitely Barcelona's man of the match in this game for Tech. Hopefully he can perform like this for the next few weeks before Juan Garcia comes back. But again, we know that he's a good shot stopper, but on the ball he's a bit weak. But his shot stopping as of late has been quite, poor. I think for the 2 goals he conceded, the first one he got a toe on it as well. So maybe if he rushes out a bit quicker, he can put more pressure on Mbappe. Second goal, I didn't like how he jumped a bit high, but Bellingham aimed it well down. So I don't really blame him for the second goal. But the first goal he could have maybe done a bit better. Not saying that he has to save it, but 8 out of 10 for Christensen today. I think he put in a good performance and definitely Barcelona's best player. In the center back partnership in front of him now, firstly, on the left-hand side, it was Eric Garcia, 5 out of 10. Think he was okay. The penalty, he's given away like 3 handball penalties this season. Fucking put your hands behind your back, man. You're pissing me off. 3 penalties. I think either 2 or 3. I think I can think of 2. 3 or 2 penalties this season from handballs inside the box. Fucking sure up. Do what Arujo does. Put your 2 hands in the back when you're trying to defend. I know it's a sliding chance and it's just a bit unlucky, but so frustrating that he's conceded so many penalties this season. Apart from that, though, thought I looked, okay. Held the line, semi-decently, defended quite well in some of the balls over the top, put in some good sliding challenges as well. I think on the ball, he wasn't too bad as well. Just the penalty was a bit annoying. And again, it's just as a unit is where the defense looks uncomfortable. Individually, you can definitely give praise and pros and cons. It's just as a collective unit, they just look dead. But I think Eric today was, okay, but knocked him down for the penalty given away. 5 out of 10 from me. Let's not beat around the bush. Same thing for Kubarsi. Again, been an average 6 out of 10. Again, he didn't lose that 1 grade for giving away a penalty. I thought Kubarsi looked okay today. I want to say there was 1 mishap he had in the first half. It was like a clearance or something like that. But apart from that, I thought it was okay. yeah, look, he looked at his passing. Again, the thing is, the reason why he's starting at this point is just for his ability on the ball. His ability on the ball is absolutely crazy. I think his passing ranges were good in this game. His vision, his composure on the ball. I think the defensive aspect of the game, he did much better than I thought. Again, he had some quick recovery picks in this game. I'm thinking this guy's faster than I thought as well. So I'm not trying to glaze his performance here. I still think, you know what, he was, it was whatever. But again, I want to highlight it's the collectivity of the team that looks weak to me, not certain individuals on a consistent basis. I think Barça has been, quite poor this season, but again, he's been a starting center back. He's played every single game pretty much apart from like 1 or 2. So I think he was okay tonight. Average 6 out of 10 from me. Into the fullbacks now. Firstly, on the right hand side, it's this absolute fraud. I mean, listen. The last time I felt joy and I was screaming for a Barcelona signing, and especially when we signed it, it was announced and I was screaming in jubilation and celebration, was this man, Jules Kounde. He has been remarkable for Barcelona, but this season, he has been absolutely god-awful. The amount of times he got cooked by Vinicius in this game. His passing. Embarrassing. And then, to salvage the performance, Lamine puts in a spectacular ball in behind, and Kounde is there. Oh, I won't go for a header. I won't go for, a volley or a bicycle kick. Let me try and chest control it right in front of one of the best and one of the biggest goalkeepers in the world, and Thibaut Courtois. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, man? Could have been a goal. Make it 2-2. I'll be giving you a 10 out of 10 at man of the match. But no, you're stuck with another 2. And go look at my player ratings for Kounde over the past few weeks. They're 2s and 4s, 2s and 4s. I don't go that low. Like, you have to be really shite to go that low. And he is performing that way. He was a risk. He was a question mark for this game. And then he was fit and he started. Kounde needs to be dropped. Don't drop him completely. Drop him for a couple of games. See how the players improve. Then maybe bring him back in. Have more fight in him. I don't know. But he cannot start until further notice. 2 out of 10 for me. Pathetic performance yet again from Jules. Other fullback was Alejandro Balde. I've given Balde a 5 out of 10. Just really looked dead going forward. I thought he defended okay. Gave the ball away sometimes when he was being pressed by Madrid. Sometimes he worked out of it really, really well. I think his passing into the midfield was quite strong in this game, but going forward, his crossing was poor. Going forward in general was non-existent from him. I expected a bit more from him. I think both the fullbacks today were a real killer in Barcelona's transition, especially attacking-wise. I wouldn't say he was as poor as Kounde, but definitely I think not as good of a performance than he did against Olympiacos. Olympiacos, he looked really good, really strong, putting in crosses, making overlapping runs. Tonight, non-existent. I think he defended quite well. I think just in possession, especially in our defensive third, it looked okay. But I think going forward in the midfield, progressing the ball forward, overlapping runs for Rashford, none of that was there. So I think quite poor from Balde today. Average, probably below average, I would say definitely 5 out of 10. In the midfield now, firstly, El Capitano, Frankie de Jong, bit of a stinker from him today, 5 out of 10. I think he looked good on the ball. I just think off the ball, his off-ball work there was poor. His pressing, awareness, vision, runs without having the ball. He probably mistimed every single one of his runs. Jogging back as well. Don't like that. I think on the ball today was all right. I think he made some great darting runs to that midfield, that Frankie run that we all know. Kept it really composed. Great switch of play on the left and right hand side, making good decisions. Helping a lot being the Madrid press again when we're on the ball, not when we're off it. I thought he did really well in that sense, but I think his off-the-ball work today really did cost us. Again, if he just marks Bellingham, will Bellingham score? It's a lesser chance than a 100% guaranteed goal with him being open at the far post. So, and then stuff like that, we could have gotten a 1-1 draw from this game, you never know. But I do think Frankie was quite poor today, so I will give him an average 5 out of 10. Pivot partner, of course, was Pedrito. Red card as well. Second yellow red, so he won't be available this weekend against, I think, Elche, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see how the team plays without Pedri. I think his performance, honestly, I'll still give him a 7. I just brought him down to 1 for the red card. The only issue I had with Pedri today was his touch. His touch was really off, and that's really rare for Pedri. Heavy touches, heavy, Timberland bouncy balls. I think he kept his composure really well. Had some great runs from that midfield as well. Composure was great on the ball, was getting double press and was working out of it every single time. Super well. It was just his touch today was really off. That's why he got the second yellow card, the heavy touch. Had to go in for the challenge. Second yellow red, of course, he did the tactical foul for the first video, and it was 100% a correct move from him there. But strange, his touching was just so heavy to the point that he'd lose the ball a few times, and didn't look comfortable for him. I think on the ball it looked all right, off the ball as well, in terms of the team defensive work from the midfield looked all right. So I have given him an average 6 out of 10. Final midfielder in the 10, it was Fermin Lopez. Again, I'll probably give him a 5, but I give him a 6 for the goal. He's now scored twice at the Bernabeu, and both times Barcelona end up losing the game. It looked really, really bad. I mean, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. We had that 3v2 as well, and he went for the shot. This fucking donkey, man. He had Rashford to his left, he had Lamine on his right, slipped in either one of them would have been a higher chance. Missed a few chances in this game. I think even his touch, I think in the first half he was horrible. I know he scored, but he was horrible before the goal. Like the half an hour, 35 minutes before the goal, he was horrible. Like, it was loose touches, not making the right decision. And then he just goes and gets a goal. Like, all right, this is what a world class player does. When they don't play well, they go and they still, you know, create danger and chances. And I think he improved in the second half a little bit, but still, just that decision making the final third, it felt like he wanted to have his moment, which I get, but gotta put the team first. And again, that 3v2 is still haunting me to this day. Into the front line, first on the left hand side, it was Marcus Rashford, average 6 out of 10. I think he looked lively. I think he was the only one that really, you know, provided any sort of threat for Barcelona in the attack. Got an assist yet again. This guy, boy, he had like 10 GA this season now, something like that. I mean, definitely the most GA for Barcelona, and he's really looking like a stellar deal. And I know Nico Williams ain't doing much with that for the club, but on Rashi, I think, you know what, he had a solid display, especially in that first half. In the second half, he was quite quiet. I really wanted to see more knuckleball attempts from him. I wish he took the shot from the free kick. He had one shot that was, of course, blocked, I believe, by either Camavinga or Tchouaméni. Yeah, a lot of times when he would have the ball, he'd look for the ball, the overlap doesn't come into him, then he'd just cut it back. Didn't have really any chances in front of goal per se, but was really a decent creator in this game, so average 6 out of 10. Right wing is Lamine Yamal, average 6 out of 10 for him as well. I think a lot of people are going to be, you know, disagreeing with this or coming at me per se. Look, I think in the end, Lamine didn't really get on the... I think Lamine for the first hour, little to no touches on the ball. People are going to say, oh, Alvaro pocketed him. Everything went through Rashford on that left-hand side in that first 45 minutes. Easily. He got the ball maybe 2 or 3 times at the absolute most. And then that Cervello pass for Ferran Torres that just went begging. The pass for Kounde that Kounde should have done better with. I think when he was on the ball, he looked like a threat. Didn't look as threatening as you expect to see. It feels like there's something holding him back. I don't know if it's the injury. I don't know if it's him talking shit or whatever it is. But there feels like there is something holding him back in his play. Could be that pubic injury if he's being wrist or whatever it is. I don't know. But feels like there's no, you know, spark and, you know, energy to him. He's very, very conservative in his play. Didn't see him making any runs like he did last season, especially, you know, 1v1s with the defender. Didn't take on Alvaro Carrillas whatsoever. I think there's one time in the box which Alvaro got the toe poke on and put it out for, I think it was a corner or something, or thrown or something like that. But they didn't really have like even the battle that we were looking forward to. I do think it was quite meaty from Lamine overall though, and you know, it is what it is. Give him an average 6 out of 10. Finally, up front, Ferran Torres. I mean, he had two good chances in this game. Well, the one was like a really good shot from him, that volley across goal that went to Coach Wall. That was a good strike from him. That was striker-esque. But that chance in the first half, we were 1-0 down. We had that cross in again. I think it was from Rashford or Balde. He took about 9 fucking trillion touches and then got the shot off. If he hits that one time, I know Lewandowski would hit that one time. He hits that one time, I think that even goes in. He was getting bullied quite a lot. I know that didn't get any fouls going his way in terms of the ones from behind and stuff like that, which never the Barca striker ever gets. But he just looks so sluggish and so was getting beating up. He'd lie on the floor after a tackle. I'm like, blood, just get up, man. Stop being a pussy, or just get up and, you know, let's get this, try to get something out of this game. But I think overall wasn't really convincing. It was his first game in a few weeks as well, so I can't, you know, I'm not going to criticize him too much. But again, it's quite clear his best role is off the bench. He should not be starting week in, week out. He wants to be the star striker for Barcelona. I wouldn't renew his contract and tell him to walk. If you want to be a bunch super sub, that's where I think Ferran Torres thrives. And, you know, a weak defense that are lacking energy after playing, you know, 60+ minutes, he comes in, he provides that great threat. I think he has a good eye for goal, but doing everything that involves a striker, hold up play, build up, attracting defenders, dropping deep. I don't know if he can do all that on a consistent basis at a world-class level for Barcelona. 5 out of 10. For Ferran Torres. And last but not the least, of course, the substitutions. That's also where Araujo, Casado, Rooney, and Gerard Martin, the only 4 first-team players on the bench, all came in. they all had little to no impact. Rooney had some good crosses, but didn't have enough power to find Araujo the far post. Casado looked alright. Gerard Martin, I don't even think touched the ball. Araujo looked like he had some confidence, went up top for the last 10 minutes or so. But I think there are some of these players that maybe should be starting more on a consistent basis. Dare I say, Araujo. Everyone was calling for him to be subbed on at halftime. People were calling for him to start the game, as was I. I came in, looked like a threat. Looked big, looked strong, which you want in a game like this. And then when he went up, you never know what could have happened. I think he had, of course, that fucking shot from 40 yards. I don't know what he was thinking there, but I mean, the confidence is there, so I mean, it's whatever. But again, these are not the subs you really want coming on the Clásico. You want, your Fermin Lopez, your Marcus Rashford, your who started the game, your Ferran Torres, not this. And last but not least is, of course, the manager, Hansi Flick, who tonight for me will be getting an average 6 out of 10. The reason why I give him average is, again, the lineup was, at least somewhat boldish, going for it. The subs were a bit late, but I understand why they were late. Like I said, the issues are clear. You either change the player or you change the system. It's not going to change. We're going to keep looking like this. We're going to get by games, not keep clean sheets. If he wants to bank on João Garcia, Dani Olmo, Lewandowski, Raphinha coming back and making us look 1,000 times better, then sure. But be bold. Put your fucking German balls on the table and change that back line. Put Eric back at right back. Bring Christensen or Araujo in. Drop Jules Kounde. These are the changes that are needed. It's quite evident and quite clear. He needs to stop being stubborn and think more about this team. And again, the season is going like Xavi's second season. I mean, we're going to have a Super Cup El Clásico final, which we probably, at this rate, will end up losing. And this whole season is going to be deteriorated and fall off a cliff after a fantastic season, which happens at Barcelona. You have one good season, then you just fall off the rails, and then there's going to be an international tournament in the summer. All the Barca players will do well. Flick needs to do something. You can't just keep it the same way, oh, we have to do better in pressing, we have to do better to press better, we have to press better. It's more than just pressing. The confidence isn't there. The suicide line against teams that are learning, they're peeling their runs in behind much smarter and much better than last season. I think again, the press is the big issue, but there's no defensive structure whatsoever. You have to fix it, and you promised us last season you would fix it, and in the end you're failing on your promise. And I think in the end we're gonna have a shit season, go trophyless, and he's gonna end up walking. That's how I think it's gonna. If I had to place a bet right now, trophyless, second place in La Liga, Flick walks at the end of the season. So only he can change it. We can all, make videos and rant and rave and criticize, but he's the only one that can change it, and he needs to change it. Average 6 out of 10 tonight, but if things don't change, things are gonna go much more south than they are already going. So that was a match review for Real Madrid versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing on our first, of course, is your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings, and your manager rating as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca. Yeah.